Hello everyone, welcome back to another video here on the Lego Lover 117 YouTube channel. And let me be the first to welcome you to 2021's Collection Month. If you're new here, Collection Month takes place every year in October. It is an annual tradition here on the YouTube channel, and I basically take 4 weeks out of the year to showcase various collections of things. The two collections that pretty much everybody looks forward to every year for some odd reason is my complete Blu-ray / 4K collection and my complete Thomas & Friends home media collection videos. Those two are mainstays on my channel every single year, and then I always take 2 other weeks to showcase other collections. In the past I've done video games, I've done pops, I've done comic books. This year, though, we're taking a look at a collection that I honestly had no idea had expanded this much in the last year. What you see in front of you is a giant stack of CDs, compact discs. Many people think this format is dead, and well, it kind of is, honestly. Not a lot of people buy these things anymore, but that's part of the reason why I started collecting them in this last year. If you're like me and hate paying an exorbitant amount of money for streaming services every year, then you would know my frustration for trying to get new music nowadays. You have to sign up for something like Apple Music or Spotify Music Premium or whatever the hell. There's probably another service out there that I don't know about. And I'm an old curmudgeon when it comes to music. I don't like having to go and stream music and use up all my data. I would prefer to have all my music stored locally on either a flash drive or my laptop or my phone. So I've taken it upon myself to purchase all of these CDs in front of me here, rip them to my computer, and then put them onto my phone with accurate album artwork and information and all that stuff. And also, me being an audio geek, I notice a huge difference when it comes to actually having the album physically and then ripping it to my computer rather than streaming it on something like Spotify. It does take a lot of time and it does take a fair amount of effort, but it's worth it to me because then I have a bunch of nice albums on my phone and I feel nice knowing that, hey, I purchased these legally, I'm not taking them off of a shady website or something, and I'm also not paying a dime to any streaming service because honestly, there's too many of those. Plus, I just like having all these albums physically. It's the same philosophy I hold with Blu-rays. It's a nice physical memento of my love for various genres of music and such. And also, these CDs are dirt cheap. There's really not a lot of people out there who buy these things, and it works out for people like me who collect these things and can get them at exorbitantly low prices. I think the highest I've ever paid for a CD is like $30, and that's for something that is not all that common. So, but I'll talk about that later on in the video. Right now, we're going to go ahead and jump right in to the top of the stack and just work our way down. These are sort of in a rough order. There's sections to this that I have labeled off in my mind, and I'll tell you when we get to a new section here. But we're starting with my favorite band of all time, which I own, I think, all of their studio albums. I think I'm only missing a couple of them. But that band is AC/DC. They're my absolute favorite band of all time. This is their first album right here, High Voltage. And then Highway to Hell comes after that. Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap. If You Want Blood, You Got It. I think that's actually If You Want Blood, actually. I think this was their first live album that they ever produced. I'm not sure, though. Let There Be Rock. And now we move out of the Bon Scott era. We move into the Brian Johnson era with Back in Black. The lead singer for AC/DC, Bon Scott, unfortunately passed away, and they had to find a new singer who is still their lead singer to this day, Brian Johnson, who is fantastic. Fly on the Wall. I don't know about this album. I've listened to some of it. It's not one of their most memorable ones, and I'm not shocked that I had never heard of it right up until doing research to find all these albums. It's a decent one. They're not exactly their best. For those about to rock, this is an excellent album. And we've got the first version of AC/DC Live. And then, because I'm a completionist, we also have the 2-disc collector's edition version of AC/DC Live. It just includes more songs and more stuff from the live show. So that was cool to find that. This one, unfortunately, doesn't have a case. This is the Razor's Edge. Some of these albums actually, well, actually, a good chunk of this CD collection actually came from my dad. He has recently moved over to putting all his stuff on a flash drive and just playing it through his Bluetooth speaker, so he doesn't use CDs a lot anymore. And when I was younger, he would gift me some of his older CDs to try to get me into the whole classic rock genre, and that's part of the reason why I love the classic rock genre so much, and rock in general, and that's one of the reasons why I love AC/DC, is my dad got me hooked on it when I was very young. This is an obscure album, Ball Breaker. Stiff Upper Lip. This is the Plug Me In bonus CD, which came with this huge, like, collector's edition DVD set. I just have the Plug Me In bonus CD that I think you could get exclusive through a retailer. It's got 3 live performances on it from some of their shows. The first AC/DC album I ever heard was Black Ice, because my parents had it on constantly in the car when it first came out, and when I was younger, I thought it was stupid because I couldn't understand what they were saying. Look at me now. Oh, this album is so awesome. Live at River Plate. This is an amazing piece of AC/DC media. Man, I was around when Rock or Bust came out. I was so hyped for this album. I pre-ordered it on Google Play, surprisingly enough. I know I said earlier I don't like streaming services, but when Google Play Music was a thing, before that got shut down, I pre-ordered Rock or Bust on that because I wanted to hear it day one. I was so excited. And I was so excited when they came back with this album, Power Up, and this is rockin'. There's really not an AC/DC album that I don't like. I know I said Fly on the Wall was kind of okay. It's might be my least favorite album they've ever done, but it does have some songs on it that I like. Pretty much anything, if it's AC/DC, it's gonna hit home for me. I don't think they've ever truly made a bad album. Here's a band I just recently discovered when I went to one of their concerts. This is the Louisville Crashers. They're a local cover band around here in the Louisville area, and they perform a lot of shows. They're really great guys. I've had the chance to talk to a lot of them after their shows are done, and they're really awesome. Very, very nice, genuine, down-to-earth dudes, and this album is really, really good. I think this was their first, like, official studio-produced album, I'm pretty sure. And when I went to that concert, the first concert for the Crashers that I had ever been to, they had another CD on sale at their merch booth. This one right here, this is Demo Songs for Nashville. I don't know what this means. I don't know if they like played a show in Nashville and they needed some demo tracks for it, but it's still good. I really like it. So you might have noticed we're done with the AC section. Now we're just moving on to general, like, rock music and stuff that I like, just general music in general. Redundancy. This is Bon Jovi, Lost Highway. I think this is the only Bon Jovi album I have, and this one also came from my dad. Bon Jovi's a good band. I enjoy them. The Clash, Combat Rock. I first heard of this band from the end credits of the reboot of RoboCop because I thought that the law was used for those credits, and I just really like the song, and The Clash has become one of my new favorites. Guns N' Roses, Appetite for Destruction. This is just an iconic album cover. This is actually where I used to keep my Trouble on the Tracks game. I used to keep it in this case, but it's not there now. Another one of my favorites, Motley Crue. This is Dr. Feelgood. Great album from them. And then I've also got Motley Crue's Greatest Hits. Here's a weird kind of compilation 3-disc set. This is the Many Faces of Motley Crue. I don't think this actually includes any songs that are actually sung by the band. I think it's a bunch of cover people doing the songs, because I popped this into my computer one night to rip it, and when I started listening to the first song, I was like, this isn't Motley Crue, this is a weird cover band. So that was an odd purchase at a Walmart at the meetup. Yeah, I bought that when I was in Cincinnati with the boys. Roberto and Percy number 6 were with me when I bought it, so why didn't you guys stop me? I have no shame in admitting that I am a huge Johnny Cash fan because the man is amazing. So here's The Legend of Johnny Cash. And then here's the only real country album that I own. It's Brad Paisley, Mud on the Tires. Brad Paisley's really the only country artist I can stand. Sort of Luke Bryan as well. I know that kind of takes away my credibility as a music fan saying, oh my gosh, he likes country music? I'm from Kentucky, y'all. Do you really think I wouldn't like country music or at least have a little bit of a respect for it? Of course, I kind of like this style of country music. Brad Paisley is one of the only country artists, like I said, that I can stand. He actually mixes things up. This one I know came from my dad. This is Kid Rock, Rock and Roll Jesus. I'm not really sure why he had this or why he gave this to me when I was like 12. It's a little bit kind of a filthy album, actually, especially because of the parental advisory warning down there, but I like me some Kid Rock. Here's some children's albums. This is Thomas's Train Yard Tracks. This is the CD that I primarily grew up on for all of my Thomas songs, so that's cool to have that still in the collection. Picked this up at a half-price books. It's SpongeBob SquarePants Original Theme Highlights. I had one of those old Philips MP3 players when I was younger, and I had to go on, I think it was Walmart.com, and buy songs to put it onto the MP3 player. And I had a bunch of these songs on that player. It always had this album artwork, and I never knew what album that was from. So now I have the physical version. This CD right here is weird. You'll see it's a VeggieTales 5 Fun Songs CD that's in a Star Wars Rogue Leader case there. This I actually found at a Goodwill. It was inside of, I think it was another VeggieTales DVD that I was purchasing, and I didn't open the thing up to look and see, and I just saw this was in there. It fell out when I got it in the car and checked the disc, and I was like, oh hey, I accidentally got this disc for free. So yeah, 5 Fun Songs, VeggieTales. I love VeggieTales. Then this also came from a Goodwill. This was 99 cents. It's 25 favorite silly songs. I will raise my children on that one day. Another Goodwill purchase, Phineas and Ferb. I'm a huge fan of this show, and all of these songs are very well written and well produced for this show, so glad to have the physical album. The soundtrack for Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey. It's got some really, really good tunes on this thing here. A lot of heavy metal. Heavy metal is not really my thing, although some people would argue AC/DC is heavy metal. I would argue against that, but that soundtrack's pretty good, though. I like having that on in the car every now and then. Blues Brothers soundtrack. Oh, this one is epic, man. This is a great soundtrack and a great movie to go along with it. The Lilo and Stitch soundtrack. This one I found at an FYE for like $5, and there's no way I was leaving this behind. Got a lot of Elvis on here. Elvis is one of my favorites. It's got Wynona's new version of Burnin' Love. It's also got some songs from the score as well, written by Alan Silvestri. So that is an awesome little package. The OG and only Space Jam soundtrack, because Space Jam 2 never happened. That was a weird fever dream that all of us were a part of, and I'm happy to have the one and only Space Jam album. That's a kick-ass album, man. Come on and slam, and welcome to the jam. If you don't like the Space Jam soundtrack, we can't be friends. I'm sorry. Pulp Fiction soundtrack. This probably has the most, or one of the most iconic soundtracks ever. Happy to have it. The Lego Batman movie. This actually includes 2 discs. It has the score on one of them, and then a bunch of songs from the movie on the second disc. Favorite Lego movie, actually. I really like the Lego Batman movie. We're now into soundtrack territory. I keep forgetting to mention the sections, but we're now into soundtrack territory. So, another Batman thing. This is the Batman soundtrack, which consists entirely of Prince music. And then here is the score, which was written and composed by Danny Elfman. So this has like the famous Batman theme and all of that. The soundtrack was just Prince music, which was cool, but then the score is like the actual movie score, so that's fun. This is my most recent CD purchase. This is the Dark Knight soundtrack, or score, or whatever you want to call it. One of the greatest superhero movies of all time. How could I be me and not have the Cars soundtrack? I mean, have y'all met me? This has got some classic music on it, man, and it's got a bunch of the score on it, so great little package there. And then Cars 3, one of my absolute favorite soundtracks ever. I actually bought this at Toys R Us, surprisingly enough, back when it first came out in 2017. I don't have the Cars 2 soundtrack, though. I am in the market for it. I need it. We got ourselves Awesome Mix Volume 1 from Guardians of the Galaxy, and Awesome Mix Volume 2 from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. These are a great little pair. They've got some awesome music on them. The soundtrack to one of the greatest films ever made, Avengers Infinity War, as well as the sequel, Avengers Endgame, which these two films right here might just form one of the greatest film duologies of all time. And the soundtracks are really awesome. They've got some great music on them. I feel like I've been saying that a lot. Like, oh yeah, there's great music on this CD. Obviously there's great music on it. Why would I have it if it wasn't good? My favorite section of my CD collection, the Star Wars section. You have Star Wars The Phantom Menace. Every CD booklet is a Star Wars fold-out poster. Well, isn't that nice? Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. I got the Yoda cover because it's the only one that Half Price Books actually had. There's 4 of them. I kind of wanted the one with Jango Fett, but I didn't want to pay the exorbitant prices that people were trying to sell that for, so I stuck with Yoda. The Clone Wars soundtrack that I've had since I was a kid, and it is scratched to hell. There's like 5 or 6 tracks on this that absolutely will not play. I need to get a new one. Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. My version doesn't have the bonus DVD, so that sucks. Episode 4, A New Hope, found at Half Price Books, and it has the lenticular cover on it. Awesome set here. It's also a 2-disc set. The prequel films are all just 1 disc, which sucks, but the original trilogy are all 2-disc sets. Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. Hey, where's Empire? I'm pretty sure y'all are asking. I don't have Empire yet. I need to get it, though. I'm scouring eBay for the version that matches these, because I want my set to be consistent. So I need the version that not only has this style of artwork, but also has the lenticular on it, and I don't want to pay more than like 20-25 bucks for it. This Return of the Jedi CD is the most I've ever paid for a CD. I think I paid $30 for this because I really wanted the lenticular cover, and I want my sets to match, okay? I'm very particular with what I buy, so if anybody has an Empire CD out there that they don't want anymore, give it to me, please. I'm asking. And then all 3 of my sequel trilogy stuff is consistent. Star Wars The Force Awakens, it's in this, the fold-out artwork here with the booklet that's inside. Same with The Last Jedi. And the same with The Rise of Skywalker. So I just need The Empire Strikes Back on CD, and I will finally be done with Star Wars soundtracks. Except if I want to get Rogue One and Solo. I don't know, though. I don't even know if those had physical soundtrack releases. They might have. I don't remember. This is a fun set right here. This is the John Williams Greatest Hits. This includes a bunch of music from John Williams' film career, and this is an awesome set. It's 2 discs. It's got themes from Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Jurassic Park, Jaws, just every single iconic theme that John Williams ever created pretty much is on this disc, at least up until 1999. Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl, one of my favorite films, and it has a really kick-ass soundtrack and score to it, so happy to have that. This one is cool. This is the Ultimate Swashbuckler 10-song CD collection. This includes songs from the Pirates of the Caribbean ride at Disney World, and Hope is a huge fan of the Pirates of the Caribbean ride. I unfortunately have never been on it, but I can kind of experience it with this little exclusive limited edition music CD. Did I just read that from the top banner? Yes, I did. Okay, this one is kind of weird, but it's technically a CD. It's the instructional CD for my car. I have a 2004 Pontiac Bonneville, and this is an instructional CD on how to operate it. It is a CD. I couldn't not include it. Alright, now we're into the comedy shows section, and this is our last section for this CD collection. I know it's almost coming to an end. You all are so sad, but don't worry. There's going to be other collection videos, and we have one more section to go. So just hold your horses. We're not done yet. This doesn't have a case. Unfortunately, this is Bob and Tom Greatest Hits Volume 1, Disc 2. Very specific there. When I was younger, my dad would drive me to school, and he would always have Bob and Tom on the radio. They're like a comedy duo. It's like a variety show. They got all kinds of characters that call in. It's a funny show, and we would both laugh our asses off when he would take me to school every morning. And some of these CDs are actually his that he gave to me because I just loved it so much. So we have another Bob and Tom here, Factory Air. And then the last Bob and Tom, The Fun House. They're a very funny duo. If you guys have never heard of them or heard any of their stuff, you definitely should. They're a very funny comedy duo. If you're a Thomas fan, and you know that I am, you'll know this next comedian that I am going to show you here and some of his work. This is my George Carlin collection. George Carlin, What Am I Doing in New Jersey? This is one of the most influential comedians of our time. He was a very funny man. He didn't know jack when it came to religion. That man hated religion as much as any man possibly could. He didn't know jack about that, but he was very funny and very influential in other forms of comedy. And a lot of his stuff I actually agree with him on. Not the whole religion thing. I don't like how he attacks that, but underneath that we've got this big old 2-disc set here, classic gold. Great stuff on this. This one's probably one of my favorite shows Carlin has ever done. This is Complaints and Grievances. Go out and listen to this show. If you don't like this show, you won't like George Carlin. That's all I'm saying. Then here's another funny one, is You Are All Diseased. And then rounding things out with our very last CD here, it is one of my other favorite comedians of all time, Jerry Seinfeld, I'm Telling You for the Last Time. I don't know if this was the only comedy show Jerry Seinfeld ever had put out on a CD. It's the only one I've ever seen at like half-price books and stuff, but it's a great show, and I recommend you listen to it. So if I pan the camera over here and show you all of this CD goodness, look at that. I didn't count at how many I actually had, so if any of you guys would like to count and tell me just how many I have, that would be nice if you could. It's kind of a random collection, I know, but I hadn't seen a lot of people do CD collection videos here on YouTube, so I didn't think I'd be the first one, but I thought it'd be cool and different and unique, so why not, right? With all that being said, though, guys, I want to thank you all so very much for watching, and as always... Hey, wait a minute. It seems to me like I forgot something. Let me just... Hang on, let me adjust the tripod here so I can actually get a shot of it. Oh, there we go. All right. Oh, come on. There we go. All right. Yeah, guys, I really don't know how I forgot the CD of Indiana Jones and the Infernal Machine. I mean, oh, I forgot something else, too. VeggieTales, The Mystery of Veggie Island, and Tomb Raider. Okay, this I know is not a CD. What is... Why are all these here? These... Okay, so this is weird, okay? These, to me, they look like video games. See you guys next week.